59,400 crores of revenue is expected from advertising in India in 2023, and this number is rising rapidly. With billions of dollars being spent in advertising, the demand for talent and digital marketers is rising rapidly. While some people are earning 20,000 rupees a month, their bosses and their bosses, super bosses, may be earning 2 lakh, 3 lakh rupees a month. Why is this disparity? What's the difference between somebody who's earning 5 lakh rupees per annum versus somebody who's making about 30 lakh rupees per annum? Before we jump into discussing salaries, 20,000, 3 lakhs, 4 lakhs, 5 lakhs, let's first understand the growth and the potential of marketing and related fields in India. India is expected to become a $10 trillion economy in the next decade, which is 3 times from what it is today. And with this, we will see an unprecedented amount of growth in almost all industries. Companies, individuals, governments will pump in billions of dollars into the economy. And with that, the average income of the Indian middle class will rise. And with that, the amount of money we will spend as consumers will rise. And the best part is, most of this is expected to happen on the internet. India already is leading the world with digital infrastructure. We have digital KYC, we have UPI and so many other things. And with all of this happening around on the world of the internet, the scope of digital marketing careers in India is going to explode massively. So if you are a digital marketer or aspire to get into the world of marketing, watch this video. How do companies determine whether you should be paid 20,000 rupees a month or 2 lakh rupees a month? Well, there are many factors on which your salary component will depend. One of the most fundamental would be the location. If you're in India versus if you're in the US, the same job that you do, you will be paid much more in the US because there is a difference of demography. So there are many factors on which your salary component is determined. We'll take 4 considerations. Who are you? What is it that you bring to the table? What are your skills? How good are you at the skills that you say that you have? What degree you have? Well, no matter how badly we don't want degrees to be associated with our jobs, degrees will find their ways in. So yes, degrees are important. The college which gave you that degree, an IIT, IIM person will perhaps be paid much more than a standard college person. Your expertise, what skills you have is good, but do you have experience and expertise to back the skills that you have with work, proof and validation, which is where proof of work comes into the picture. We'll talk about skills and all of that. Who is hiring you? If you have a company which has 10 employees versus if you have a company which has 10,000 employees, the hiring decisions in both these cases will be very different. Company with 10 members may have a very flexible hiring and payout structure versus a company with 10,000 members will have a very structured way of paying out salaries. In the case where there are 10 employees, you will have higher learning curve, but there is a high volatility of losing your job. In a 10,000 employee structure, you may be doing one thing, but payments will keep coming in. You may not be earning as much, but there will be stability. The job description. Yeah, what are you getting hired for? Are you getting hired to write an article, or are you getting hired to orchestrate a team of writers such that they are able to write 100 articles a month or 500 articles a month so that your company and your website is ranking higher on Google? The amount of money that a company will pay you will depend on the complexity of the problem that you are solving. So the company, the culture, the size, the location, the industry. If I work at a marketing agency as a writer, I may be being paid 25,000-30,000 rupees as a month as a fresher. While if I am hired as a content writer or a marketer at a company like a Facebook or a Netflix or an Amazon, in such cases, I would be paid much more as a writer. The difference is the type of the company, the industry at which these companies operate. A standard company, which is a service company, a marketing agency, a design agency, they may be paying less to their marketers or their employees compared to a product company. So the type, the industry, the size, the culture, all of this will determine how much you are being paid in a significant way. If the founder has gone on to hire a person, they may be paid a lot more than somebody who's come through the route of getting hired by an HR. So the salary aspect is just so difficult to determine. So we have the aspect of who you are, who is hiring you, the supply, the demand, and the market conditions. If the market has a lot of writers willing to be hired, then the demand for writers will perhaps not match the supply, and in such cases, companies would want to short cash. They will pay you less. Suppose there is a big crash that happens in the market. People will not have money to spend. People will stop spending on marketing or reduce marketing costs. In such cases, they will either fire their marketing teams, if not completely, partly, or reduce salaries. So basically, market conditions will determine your salaries more than you think it would. In today 2023 era, we've seen market correction of salaries happen. Developers who are being paid insane amounts are perhaps not being paid as much because there is some sort of slowdown where companies are not spending as much and they're trying to save cash. And when such market conditions appear, money disappears or reduces. Job opportunities go down. And in such cases, the earning potential may go down. So somebody who's earning 20 lakh rupees may go down to 15 or maybe even go down to 10 lakh rupees if the markets are really bad. But in the same markets, if you have skills, if you have proof of work, if you have everything that it takes for you to solve a problem, then the company would come and be like, hey, kitta paisa loge? How much money would you take? Your attitude, your energy levels, your value systems. I think Warren Buffett has this system where he checks for three things: energy, integrity, and intelligence. So if you are very good at what you do, but if you have a very shitty approach towards life, if you are not very helpful, if you don't have empathy, if you don't have leadership skills, then after some amount of time, you will plateau. You will not be able to grow. Now, tell me this. If somebody is hiring a person who's getting paid maybe 10 crores or 50 crore rupees an annum, do you really think they check for just their skills? In fact, value systems is what starts giving you an edge once you go later in your careers. In fact, it helps you incredibly, even if you're a fresher, your energy levels, your curiosity, all of these come together and become a major form factor of your salary component. You may not see that in your early days, but maybe as you mature, as you go ahead in your careers, you will start seeing the value of your soft skills, of the skills that is a part of your culture, samskara in many ways. So this also is a major proponent of your salary. We went through a couple of factors on which salaries depend: who you are, the company, the market scenario, the attitude that you bring to work, all of that. But now let's spend some time trying to understand the skills, the expertise, and the experience bit of it with a little more depth. So to understand it better, I have found one organizational structure, and we'll use this to understand the relation of salaries, the work distribution, the way the marketing teams function, and maybe all of that will give you some idea as to what the difference between a 5 lakh versus a 30 lakh salary. So let's look at the chart. We have a chief marketing officer, under which we have head of branding, head of growth, head of paid media, head of media, etc. Now, let's understand responsibility wise. This chief marketing officer must be responsible directly for revenue or profits or growth in the number of users or acquisitions or whatever it could be. Whereas a person who is a social media analyst, they will be responsible only for analysis of the current social media handles that the company has, or maybe compare it with the industry standards, or maybe with some competitors. The work function of a CMO versus the work function of a social media analyst, there's a mass difference between these two functionalities, and due to which there would be a big enough salary differentiation. In this case, if this person is earning 25,000 rupees a month, there are two layers between this person and this person. And this is a clear indication that the amount of work this person does versus the amount of work social media head has to do versus the amount of work the brand head has to handle is very different. And these differences in workloads, responsibilities, and problem statements will bring about a difference in the salary component. Now, let's talk about growth. So suppose somebody starts off as a content creator. They're into writing, designing, video making, and all of that. With some experience, they would be able to get into becoming a head of content if they are interested in building up on the content bit at a deeper stage. If not, this content creator may want to specialize in SEO. After all, SEO is also generating content, right? So if this person becomes interested in SEO, they have this path of becoming the head of the SEO. There are some people who have little interest in all of these things, myself being one of the best examples. I liked content creation, I liked SEO, I liked some bit of website design. I learned how to create content designs using Canva and all of that. I think I have some experience with email marketing. I have some experience with paid ads. So all in all, my experience is more of a generalist. Since I understand some bit of growth, some bit of acquisition, some bit of brand, I would not say I have the potential to become a chief marketing officer, but I may be on that path if at all I want to continue down the job line. So basically, if we look at functions, you need to understand one singular person may be creating videos, maybe editing videos, and they may be working 12 hours a day, earning 50,000 rupees a month, wherein this head of marketing may be effectively working 3 to 4 hours a day and maybe earning 2 to 3 lakh rupees a month. And in most cases, you would see this person compare themselves to this person saying that, hey, the chief of marketing does not work as hard as I do. But brother, understand this. You are not getting paid by the amount of hours you are putting into the picture. You are getting paid for the amount of work you can deliver, the problem that you can solve. And that is where the buck stops. A set of skills a T-shaped marketeer would have or should have. A T-shaped marketeer is somebody who has a series of skills and they're good at one or two things. So in this case, this person seems to be good at content marketing and SEO. They also have experience with events and emails, but their expertise may not be as much. So this is a T-shaped marketeer. This kind of career curve is something that you should develop in 3 to 5 years of experience. And if you have a T-shaped experience, meaning you understand some bits of marketing, but you have experience and depth into one. So in this case, if it is content marketing or SEO, then in such cases, you can possibly become the head of growth. But please remember, it will take time for you to get to here or you to get to here. It is happening in steps. Now let's look at this at a deeper level. There are 3 aspects: base knowledge, marketing foundation, channel expertise. Most marketers today try to sell themselves on channel expertise, saying that, hey, I am good at community, I am good at email marketing. But if they lack marketing foundations, if they do not understand what copywriting is, if they do not understand what branding is, then how are you expected to write or draft email campaigns which will generate revenue? So a lot of times people who are newbies, freshers, they usually don't have base knowledge or marketing foundation. They come up with some experience in any of the channels. It could be paid media, it could be social media. They know how to run Instagram, they know how to run YouTube. But once they enter the marketing fraternity, their exposure with other things increases. You may get into events, you may get into conversion optimization, you may get into community building, and as and when your skills develop, you will start getting good at a lot of things, and slowly, if you're good, if you're consistent, you will find what you love. For me, I think my personal expertise would be in organic growth through content, but I may be wrong. So somebody who's earning 5 lakhs versus 15 lakhs versus 30 lakhs, a lot of their earning potential will also depend on how much of these things they understand and how well are they able to connect all of that in order to generate desirable results. So suppose if a marketeer does not understand data, how are they expected to understand if their paid ads, if spending money has resulted in doubling money, tripling money or not. So basically, as and when you climb the corporate ladder, your understanding of things increases. And if you're able to connect all of this and tie them back to the business goal, in such cases, the amount of money you will be making would be perhaps much more than what you're making right now. All in all, to conclude, digital marketing, building a career in any of the fields is not a linear path. There is some point in life where your career will compound. But the only thing is, are you continually working towards developing skills in a way that you're able to use all of these skills, tie that back to your strengths, and contribute to the company at which you're working? If you're able to solve for big problems at the company at which you're working, they'll pay you more. I hope the video was helpful, and if yes, drop your comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much. Bye bye.